Today we're back in the shop to cover a very special project. This customer reached out to us before he even purchased his Jeep Rubicon 392 Final Edition. Like always, we started with the end in mind. This owner's goal was to run Tahoe and Moab's toughest trails, but still be able to daily drive this Jeep or rip down the freeway at 80 miles an hour. Let's go inside and check it out. There's a lot to cover on this Jeep build, so to be thorough, we're gonna do ground up. It's sort of becoming commonplace to see 40s on Jeeps, but it's still the go-to tire for a hardcore rock crawler. Here we're running 40-inch Mickey Thompson MTs, and then we've opted for Battleborn beadlock wheels. Battleborn's a US company, they're right down the road from us, and this is a forged 17-inch wheel. Like all 40-inch tire Jeep builds, we've gone with 1-ton axles. Up front, we have an East Coast gear supply, high pinion, kingpin Dana 60, locked with an ARB air locker. Out back, we've opted for an East Coast gear supply 14 bolt, also with an ARB air locker. You'll notice that we've gone full width here. So we have a 72-inch track width that allows us to run a 0 offset wheel. Now that we're up in the air, let's take a closer look at the axles. Both front and rear have 4-inch tube, half-inch wall DOM housings. Inside the axle housing are 40 spline chromoly axle shafts. We've converted the electric steering to this PSC hydraulics setup. You'll notice that all of the rest of the steering components are RPM. Here we've custom fabricated our own one-piece bracket that houses both the ram for the steering and the bottom track bar mount. Up front, we're running RPM's 3-link kit. So we've got 2.5-inch diameter lower control arms, tie rod, drag link, and then a 2-inch upper on their 3-link kit. Any true rock crawler is going to run a double triangulated rear. The challenge with a Jeep when it rolls off that showroom floor is that it's running a parallel 4-link with a panhard bar. And while that might be fine on road, as the Jeep articulates and strokes for traction, the axle swings to one side. This suspension, with its triangulated 4-link, is free to articulate and travel however it needs to for traction, and the axle stays centered in the Jeep through the full range. In order to run this double triangulated 4-link, you have to relocate the fuel tank. So what we have here is an RPM steering fuel cell that moves from the factory location back to the rear of the Jeep. An important advantage of the RPM fuel cell is that there's check valves in the fuel filler neck. So in the event of a rollover, fuel stays in the fuel cell instead of running out the fuel fill. So one of the modifications that's required when we run this double triangulated 4-link and the RPM fuel cell is to redesign the exhaust. So we've fabricated an in-house true dual exhaust with crossover pipe, 2.5-inch stainless all the way back. One of the things that this customer opted to do was maintain the quiet mode that comes on the Jeep 392. So the button inside the Jeep still actuates the valve inside the muffler, which allows us to run performance mode or quiet mode. Up front, we've taken our standard coil and shock setup and converted to coilovers. One of the benefits of this 2.5-inch ADS coilover is we can run true dual rate. So we have a 200-pound spring up top, a 250-pound spring on the bottom. This allows us to travel at that first inch or so at a soft rate and then firm up as we start to flex the suspension. We're also running ADS's hydraulic bump stops, which really smooth out those hard hits where you would fully compress the suspension. In the rear of the Jeep, we're also running the ADS 2.5-inch coilover. What we talked about briefly up front were the remote reservoirs. What you see here is the SDI E-Click Pro. The Pro designation tells us that in addition to what the normal E-Click system takes in, it measures the bumps or the dive or the squat or the yaw rate of the Jeep. This Pro system also takes in OBD2 input. So it knows throttle position, steering wheel position, and brake position. So if you stomp on the brakes in this Jeep, it'll close those front valves before the nose dives. If you crank the wheel, it'll close those outside shocks before the Jeep rolls over, which makes this Jeep a tremendous vehicle to drive both on and off-road. The other thing you'll notice about the rear suspension of this Jeep is the location of the coilover. To do a proper coilover conversion, you need this coilover in a neutral position over top of the axle. In order for this axle to fully droop, the coilover needs to be Frenched into the frame. So this tower is cut into the frame and it allows this suspension to fully droop and for that coil to swing and not run into the frame rail. Let's move on to the body of the Jeep. These fender flares are Next Venture Highline flares. Up front they're running the JL factory location LED turn signal. We've opted to powder coat these so they're body match white on the outside of the aluminum flare, black on the inside. Those are matched up with the Motobilt liners, which really give this Jeep a nice look overall. We opted for Rock Slide Engineering's double-walled slider that's also a powered step. We've gone with Next Venture for both our front and rear bumper. This is the stubby Adventure Series bumper. We're running the factory connected fog lights here. These are SAE, they come in 3 levels. This is the SAE fog. An LP4 Pro. This is the factory winch that came on this 392 Final Edition. We've got a Factor 55 Flat Link Expert up front on this Warren Hoss Fair lead. And then we're running Squadron Pros for the ditch lights. The lighting package on this Jeep is rounded out by 8 Baja Designs rock lights underneath the Jeep and a chase light on the spare tire carrier. Out back, we're running the Next Venture bumper. In the bumper are Baja Designs S2 sport lights for reverse. We've got our onboard air chuck back here. We're running a Motobilt rear tire carrier with a Baja Designs license plate light that also acts as a third brake light or chase light. And then we have our backup camera relocation kit. As we move into the interior of the Jeep, we want to point out a few unique things about this build. This customer is going to absolutely send it. So in order to make that safe, we incorporated a GenRight roll cage. The GenRight roll cage is incorporated into the one-touch sky roof, and then we've maintained all of the AV capability that the Jeep came with, including microphones for the rear seats, and we've added lighting for all 4 occupants. From the driver's seat, I can also control the SDI settings on the suspension. I can disconnect the factory sway bar, and I can control all of the lighting and accessories from a Switch Pro on the dash. As we wrap up this Jeep build, we saved a surprise for the end. For some folks, 470 horsepower and 470 foot-pounds of torque isn't quite enough. And for those folks, you had a Magnuson supercharger. That brings this Jeep to over 600 horsepower and nearly 600 foot-pounds of torque. So if you want to build a sick 392 like this one, or you have another vehicle project in mind, reach out to us at SierraAdventureVehicles.com.